Jeremy Prophet here for the Hannibal TV, joined by two gentlemen I had the pleasure of teaming with tonight. To my right over here, tough Tim Hughes. To my left, brutal Bob Evans. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great. It was great to be here. It's great to be in front of the fans. This is the first time Tim and I have had a chance to wrestle in Ottawa. It's everything you said it would. Old friend, it's everything you said. The great fans here, and it was great to team with you, and it's great to get a victory.
Well, I appreciate you putting me over like that on camera. That's real nice of you.
Maybe we can be the Ottawa six-man tag team champs.
Oh, I'd love to do that. There's a lot of great teams in Ottawa. I think they could be looking for an ass whooping, and I think we're the guys to give it to them.
I think so too.
You know, Tim, you and I go way back. We first met. We were in Maine, probably around 2013, something like that. Yeah. You were a little different.
I was a little different.
Little more hair, a little less beard.
A little less beard, yeah.
Dressed differently.
Like this.
Yeah, literally.
So what I want to know is, how did you guys meet up?
We met at the Ring of Honor dojo seminar.
No, Monster Factory.
We met at the Monster Factory, where I actually attended his seminar that he was teaching that day, and I paid and I attended it, and I learned so much from that, and then we ended up teaming at because they thought it was funny that we looked like we were related, so they thought it was funny, so they put us together as a team in Ring of Honor, and then we started tagging in Ring of Honor, and it's been an absolute pleasure ever since 2015. It's been the best 4 years of my life, yeah.
I can definitely see the resemblance between you two. Let me ask you, Bob, what made you decide to take this young gentleman under your wing?
Just remember, I'm the cute one. Just remember that. One of the things I always say is that when I ask for a volunteer, Tim raised his hand. What I mean by that is wrestling, as you know, and we talked about getting you on the road with us too, is wrestling's all about opportunities. And how you get opportunities is when somebody asks you to join them, or hey, maybe we can make something of this. And we were a little disappointed. All respect to Ring of Honor. You know, we love Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor will always have a place in our heart. We're not there anymore, but we love all the people there, and we want them to kick ass and keep doing what they do. But there wasn't a spot for us in Ring of Honor. And I said, well, but I think maybe we shouldn't be in the Ring of Honor business. Maybe we should be in the Brutal Bob, Tough Tim, and Tough Guy Inc. business. So we really started committing to this and our brand and our message. Our message is, you know, keep going, keep learning, persevere. You know, give love and respect to everybody, and they'll give it back to you. And even if you're a bad guy wrestler, then make sure the good guy looks good, so people will get that message too. And we try to, you know, spread that. And you know, I do a bunch of seminars, and now we've had almost 300 matches as a team. One of the most prolific independent tag teams in the country, and now in North America. So it's really just, I asked Tim if we could really make a commitment with this, and Tim said, hey man, I'm all in. I trust you, you know, and we hit it off the first time we met. And then, like I said, the funny story about the dojo, sorry I bumped the mic, very unprofessional, but one of the things that Tim didn't tell you is Tim was about to quit wrestling if the Ring of Honor tryout didn't work. And then I saw him struggling and how hard he was working. Tim was always a very hard worker, just needed direction. And so when I saw that, I said, you know, I really don't have anything going on in Ring of Honor. Maybe I can serve myself and then serve Tim and see if we can get this going. And it went in a completely different direction than we thought it would, as far as you know, what we were going to do and all that. But it's ended up being really good. And I mean, it's great to see him almost grow up and grow up right in front of my very eyes, and to try to teach somebody how to be a territory tag team wrestler who doesn't. Tim grew up a Ring of Honor fan. He didn't really grow, I mean, he was a WWE fan too, but really he was Ring of Honor. So now being like, okay, now we're going to learn some Southern wrestling. Now we're going to learn how to wrestle people in Tennessee and wrestle people all over the country, wrestle people you don't know, you know, quite literally get there when your match is about to start and face people right in the middle of the ring without, you know, laying a bunch of stuff out, you know. So it's been a real cool process, because I've never had to do that pretty much from, hey man, I'm going to teach you how I was taught, because I was taught by a territory guy, you know, Jeff Costa, who actually used to work for Al Tomko and you know, the Vancouver territory and all that stuff. So he had a lot of Canadian experience. His wife's from Canada too. So, but he was very adamant about territory wrestling, and that's how you build the towns and things like that. So very different backgrounds, but he's had the benefit of my experience, and he's helped me with a lot of the newer stuff and transitioning my message and translating my message to the millennials and, you know, guys who are wrestling in and girls who are wrestling in 2019 now. So it's been a great relationship. But again, it's been my favorite 4 years of my career too, and it's be 28 years in February. So it's a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah, well, that's awesome to hear. You know, he brings up an interesting point there. How you said your career was on the verge of ending.
Yes.
And then you ended up doing one of his seminars, and it took off in a completely different direction, a great direction, if I do say so myself. What do you feel you gained from that seminar that really got you on the right path?
Say a bunch of nice things about me right now.
I'm trying to give you a plug here, so I'm sure he's going to do the same.
Well, as Bob has been incredible. He's so caring, and he just wants to help everybody. I think the thing that he taught me the most was just to be a people person, to go out and shake hands and kiss babies and do all that kind of thing and get out of my comfort zone. I was really in my shell, and like I was hiding behind something that wasn't really me, as you know, and he taught me to be myself, and that being myself was the best version of me, and that's really honestly the most important thing. But I mean, as he said, going around and dragging me to wrestling shows all over the United States, all over Canada. We've gotten to wrestle in 3 provinces of Canada. We need to hit them all. We love Canada so much, but yeah, so it's one of that, just pushing me to go out and see the world and do all this stuff, and you know, learning from his seminars and learning from being his assistant at seminars has been truly invaluable, because when you start teaching people stuff, you learn stuff more about yourself, and that's really what has made the best 4 years of my life. And he actually forced me to go out with my current girlfriend now, so he's also made it all.
So he's also a matchmaker.
Yes.
In addition to being a mentor.
I saw them at was it an IHOP or a Denny's? I always forget. So it was at a Denny's. I saw them hitting it off, and his girlfriend is named Flo. I said, Tim, Flo, date right now. And they've been dating ever since. And now they live together. They have a dog. He's on the stupid dog cam we were just looking at.
My dog has an Instagram.
Give it a plug.
Oh yeah, at Greta the Shishon, Shichon, half Bichon, half Shih Tzu.
You can't say that on TV.
It's Canada. They don't censor things.
All right.
That's true. We're a little bit more liberal around here. If you've seen our government, yeah, definitely liberal. Now, Bob, I wanted to ask you, I imagine someone with your experience, your time in the business, you probably still follow the current lay of the land.
Absolutely. We have so many friends in wrestling now, it's tough. I'd be not watching my friends if I did that. So I'm sorry.
What would be your thoughts on what's currently going on, AEW, WWE, pretty much the lay of the land? How does Brutal Bob Evans see that?
Again, it would be weird for me to be screaming and yelling about it. You know, I'm in a weird position because I'm a Jim Cornette guy who likes Joey Ryan and likes Vince Russo and likes a lot of the people that are doing it now. And, you know, Jim Cornette gave me my biggest break. Jim Cornette hired me for Ring of Honor. If you're here, Jim, hello, I love you. Nobody is going to tell me who I'm supposed to like and dislike. That's on me and me alone. Just like I would never tell anyone to do that too. I think wrestling has now broken into. It's like the way I look at it is like, and I say this all the time too. The Berlin Wall is crumbling. Once WWE guys start doing outside things. You know, you see people having different podcasts. You see people doing having other interests and stuff. I think now it's going to be like, you know, and we already see it now too. It's like WWE's awesome. I'm not picking on WWE. You know, 1 million people in the office, 1 million people wrestling there. We're buddies with so many of them. Tim went to an NXT show with 7 matches. He said we have a friend in every match. That's pretty cool, right? So there's no jealousy here. I'm not looking to get hired or fired or whatever, right? They ain't looking for me. But I mean, I think people understand that there's life outside of WWE now, and there's life outside of all wrestling. The biggest thing I could give people for advice is have a balanced life. Have wrestling, but don't run away from your family. Don't, you know, if you have a cool family, if you have a cool job, like have that too. You know, there's nothing wrong with having an accounting job. My wife has an accounting job that pays her great money. If she's not going to be a wrestler, but if I had that same job and then I could wrestle on the weekends, to me that's a good life. You know, and plus wrestling now with merch sales and social media and people being able to build their reputation on the internet, I think that there's ways to make money and monetize this business that weren't there before. Social media is the great equalizer. You know, it'll probably kill us all eventually, but I think social media is the great equalizer as far as, hey, there's life outside of WWE. Hey, there's life outside of, you know, any promotion. You know, so I think having that balanced lifestyle, whether it's wrestling in life or just WWE and something else, you know, I think that's the biggest thing I could say. But it's so cool seeing a lot of our friends that have passed through and people that I've mentored, kind of being a part of wrestling now and being in the national scene. We had with the War Games, every one of our buddies was in War Games. Everybody that we either wrestled or spent a lot of time with or rode the roads with at War Games, like everybody. So this is cool. They're sending my kids messages, happy birthday messages. Tommaso Ciampa sent my kid. He's gonna hate me saying this because he's a humble guy, but he sent my son an action figure autographed with a picture and all that stuff. That's guys who remember where they came from and guys that remember that I helped them in these silly little towns in New England. So it's super cool seeing everybody just do well. So no jealousy in my heart, man. I'm all pride. Like, I'm super happy for everybody. So if anybody can get something out of wrestling, that's the coolest thing. We're all just trying to express our love for wrestling to a bigger audience. So anybody can do it in a bunch of different ways. Hey, Joey Ryan and these guys. It's all good. It's all good. I'm not mad at Orange Cassidy. I'm not. Sonny Kiss is a super good friend of ours, and we've seen him go from just wrestling in the Indies in Pennsylvania to becoming a big TV star. Like, that's cool, man. You see these people on TV, you should be crying, like, happy to see them.
So from the sounds of things, it seems like you guys are more or less free agents. I know you said you want to establish the Tough Guy Inc. brand.
Free agents, yeah. I mean, and like I said, no one's really hunting us down. But the idea is to get out there, and we had a off-Broadway match at Impact. We had a dark match at Impact, and then I'll be appearing on a segment, and Tim will be appearing on a televised segment coming up soon. The doors always open at Ring of Honor. We didn't leave on bad terms, So, I mean, yeah, we're pretty much free agents. We wrestle all over the place. We have a very busy schedule, but we're always willing to add more dates. And like I said, I think Target Canada coming up in 2020.
Mm-hmm. And that was the next thing I was going to ask you guys is what's next on the menu? What's the next destination, and where do you guys hope to go?
We want to go to Winnipeg. We haven't been to Winnipeg.
Not in the winter.
Not in the winter, though. And we want to go to Nova Scotia.
Not in the winter.
And we want to go to Saskatchewan.
Definitely not in the winter.
Definitely not in winter. We want to hit all those places, and we want to hit Alberta, too. Alberta. We want to go to
not
Alberta.
In the winter.
Yeah, Calgary, that kind of area. In the winter, sure. Sure, in the winter.
Well, considering we have over 100,000 viewers here in Canada, everywhere, there's probably going to be some people from there.
All right, if each of your viewers, and I know all about Hannibal TV, my dear friend runs it. He's not here right now, but if he was, I'd tell him how much I like him. But if each one of those fans gives us $1, we will go to those places in the winter.
I just want to wrestle wherever. That's really our goal. Is we want to wrestle wherever. We want to go out and meet the people. We want to meet all the wrestlers. We want to wrestle all the wrestlers. We want to meet all the fans. That's really our goal, and just to, as Bob said earlier, express our love for wrestling. But we love Canada so much, so we'd love to express our love of wrestling with our love of Canada, because
and you know how I have my teaching eye. There's we had 5 days in Ontario, so I've seen a lot of the Ontario wrestling scene. I've seen a lot of the touring wrestling scene, and there's my teaching eye says that there's improvements that can be made. So I'm going to come up here and serve this market, and hopefully me and some other people work hard to help everybody get better. That's the idea. You've known me long enough to know that I'm not afraid to, respectfully share my advice and try to help people along. But that's the goal, to serve new markets, see new people, build new relationships,
And for the people out there who are hearing what these men are saying, not that I want to go into infomercial mode, but there is a lot of
Please
great advice to be taken.
mode.
Oh, I'm good at that. I do that all the time. So if they want to get in touch with you, how do they go about doing that? What's your social media?
I'm Bob Evans on Facebook. We also have a Hangs with Bob and Tough Guy Inc. page. We've had some issues getting messages on there, so feel free to just message me on my page. But either way is fine. You can message Tim at Brutal Bob Evans on Twitter, at Tough Timmy.
At Tough Timmy. At Tough
Twitter.
Yeah.
He's more of an Instagram guy than I am because I'm an old person with technology. But I have an Instagram page that I never check, so I'm sure I have all kinds of stuff on there. But so really, that's the best way to do it. Message us. We'll talk. We'll make it good for everybody. The best deal is the one where everybody walks away with something. So, I know we all have to get paid. We all have to get compensated. We all have to treat each other well financially. But it's not just about finances. It's about leaving the place better than how you found it. And we pride ourselves on doing that all the time. So.
Excellent. Well, two of you, absolute gentlemen. It's been a pleasure to have you on here. And I look forward to being in the ring again and doing some good business with you guys.
We already took the promo picture for it.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. All right, well, this has been Jeremy Prophet for the Hannibal TV. Thank you for watching. Give us a like, subscribe to us, and I will see you again next time.